D. Pearl of irregular shape. The correct answer is letter D. Pearl of irregular shape. Let us now move on to our lesson today. The Baroque period of the Western classical music witnessed the great expansion of the musical conventions and traditions. Composers during the period enjoyed the benefits of increased arts patronage as well as growing acceptance of secular instrumental music. Baroque composers often decorated their melodies with heavy ornamentation. Melodic lines were very complex. Baroque music gives greater emphasis on players' skill, resulting in more virtuoso performances and more technically demanding compositions. Composers of this period used the major and minor tonalities. Tonality is an organized system of tones in which note becomes the central point of all the remaining tones. The following are the most famous composers of the Baroque period. Let's start with the first. We have Johann Sebastian Bach. Born in March 21, 1685, died July 28, 1756. Johann Sebastian Bach came from a family of musicians. He was taught to play violin by his father, who was then the town musician of Eisenach. He entered school at age 7, where he was taught religion and other subjects. Bach was a religious man. His personal and deep faith is shown in his sacred music. He was known for his compositions for organ, orchestra, and oratorio. His most important and long-term position was a choir boy at St. Thomas Church. His work include Brandenburg Concerto, Mass in B minor, Cantata 208 and 211, Toccata and Fugue in D minor. We'll be watching the Toccata and Fugue in D minor by Johann Sebastian Bach. Another famous composer of the Baroque period is Antonio Lucio Vivaldi. He was called as the Red Priest because of his red hair. He was an Italian Baroque composer, a Catholic priest, and a virtuoso violinist. He was recognized as one of the greatest Baroque composers, and his influence during his lifetime was widespread over Europe. Vivaldi is known mainly for composing instrumental concertos, especially for the violin, as well as sacred choral works and over 40 operas. He entered the priesthood and was ordained in 1703. Vivaldi is well known for giving the strings a major role in his compositions. His most famous piece is The Four Seasons. This composition is a series of four violin concerti, depicting each of the seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And the last, but definitely not the least, George Frederick Handel. George Frederick Handel was the second son from the second marriage of a pastor. At the age of 10, Handel impressed Johann Adolf, Duke of Weissenfels, who then financed his music education. His father agreed his music study in one condition. His father wanted him to become a lawyer. Handel is remembered for his operas and oratorios. Handel became England's favorite composer. He had given English audiences music that in variety and interest rivaled anything they could remember. Handel lost both of his eyesight in 1753 when he conducted his oratorio Samson. A few in the audience were unaware that he had lost his eyesight. The Messiah is Handel's most famous creation, and the very well-known Hallelujah chorus is part of Handel's Messiah. The Messiah was written in the space of 24 days in London, but it was in Dublin when the Messiah was first performed and became an instant success. And that's the end of our lesson today. I hope you learned a lot about our topic in famous composers of the Baroque period. In the meantime, I want you to answer the activity contour factor. Just pause the video and read carefully the directions. And don't forget to answer the wrap-up, the valuing, and the post-test for today's lesson. Thank you and see you next time.